And then when we have Islamic financial institutions, Islamic capital markets, Islamic insurance services, Islamic mutual funds, and non-banking Islamic financial institutions in place, then the issue of their development and soundness becomes of really significant importance. As I mentioned, at the current time, the financial sector assessment program of the World Bank and IMF are actually that's the template which is available for countries to have assessment of their financial soundness, of their institutions and policies and supervisory institutions. But then for the Islamic financial institutions, this template is not really sufficient and effective for the assessment and follow-up. And therefore, we in the Islamic Development Bank and IRTI, with the help of the IFSB and the International Monetary Fund, as well as with the World Bank, we want to enhance these FSAP templates, whereby they can also be used effectively for assessment of Islamic financial services. And this work is in progress, and it will take at least 9 months to 1 year to have a document which addresses enhancement of the FSAP template for the Islamic financial services industry. Now, indeed, for the development of the Islamic financial infrastructure, architecture as well as infrastructure, at least 8 institutions are actively working. We in the IDB have actually established a technical assistance account with the International Monetary Fund, which can be utilized by member countries for the development of their legal framework, regulatory framework, and supervisory framework. And we also work with the IFSB and IOFI indeed, and other institutions in the development of the prudential standards, as well as we provide our member countries with training for capacity building in the implementation of IFSB and IOFI standards. So the Islamic Development Bank and the Islamic Research and Training Institute have initiatives in place in strengthening the international Islamic financial architecture, as well as in developing their national financial infrastructures. And indeed, the Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institutions, as we discussed, a tremendous contribution to standard setting, and they are working also on capacity building in those areas of those standards, as well as in professional development. International Islamic financial market is very active in the standardization of financial products. Also, at the same time, they are providing training in the area of Islamic capital markets. We work with them in that. We also have a program in place which is entitled as capacity building in Islamic capital markets, which we implement in collaboration with the International Islamic Financial Market. The General Council of Islamic Banks and Financial Institutions is also working in the area of product development, training and research, and we actually work with them in implementing one of our flagship activities, initiative which is called Islamic Financial Sector Development Forum. We worked every year on a specific theme. We address the issues of the Islamic financial sector development. In those, with the help of the various stakeholders, supervisors, policymakers, industry specialists, as well as consultants and technical expertise. There is the International Islamic Rating Agency, which is working in the area of rating of Islamic financial services. Islamic Financial Services Board, the standards which we mentioned. We are also working on a number of other initiatives. One of them I mentioned to you, the 10-year framework and strategies and its implementation. Part of that implementation is to help the national authorities, our member countries, to think in terms of the development of their Islamic financial sector, and we help them in doing that in different ways, in preparing the documents as well as in organizing workshops and seminars in implementing those programs. International Islamic Center for Reconciliation and Commercial Arbitration is a new, very important institution which is working in the area of dispute resolution and reconciliation, which may arise between Islamic financial institutions as well as Islamic financial institutions vis-a-vis other contracting parties. So these are the internationally mandated institutions working in strengthening the Islamic financial architecture and infrastructure, whereas indeed there are extremely valuable national initiatives in so many member countries which are increasing year by year. And then finally, I have provided here some of the references which can be useful for the future reference, and students or researchers and even policymakers can benefit from those references. Foremost among them is a very important document which is what is known as the Financial Sector Assessment Handbook of the World Bank. So with that, I thank you very much, and if there are any questions, we can address them before closing.
Lebanon again. Any questions?
Yeah.
Questions?
Yes, I have a question, please. Now, about the slide that shows the area of standard and the key agencies and the correspondence of agencies in Islamic financing. In number 2, you say that anti-money laundering, the key agency is Financial Action Task Force, and you mentioned that for the correspondent agency in Islamic banking, it's common. Well, in my opinion, it should be none, because I don't think that kind of process could be done in the Islamic banks if they really precisely follow the regulation and the rule of the Sharia. Since I give my opinion.
Yeah, so
thank you.
Your opinion is respected, but it's a very important area, where I think it's equally your point. I want to validate your point. Your point is that the Islamic financial institutions would not involve in this type of activity. Actually, you are right. It is not possible in Islamic finance to do money laundering and that type of financing of anti-society activities. The reason is that in Islamic finance, the Islamic bank and financial institutions has to know its client. It has to know, without knowing the client, it cannot give financing, which is not the case with the traditional conventional financial system. And when the financial institution knows its client, it buys for him a car, or it buys for him a house, or it buys for him any other commodity, or which is very known, highly transparent. So in that sense, you are absolutely correct that the abuse of Islamic financial services, because of the nature of the Islamic financial services, is not to that extent as it is in the conventional financial services, because they deal with cash. Islamic financial institutions do not provide cash as a form of financing. So that type of abuse is not possible, but still we do not have any standards in the Islamic financial services industry for that one. And of course there are very important regulators which we know, which participate very actively, and IDB also participates very actively in the financial action task force related activities, meetings and other things, as a community, as also in the way of showing that we are concerned with this issue, and that's the point. Thank you very much.
Well, I think you agree with me that we should put none here, because that kind of business, it doesn't concern us at all.
Okay, I agree with you.
Okay. I agree. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Now, Pakistan, if you have any questions, you joined late. If you have any questions for the rest of the lecture, you
Oh, is it Pakistan deal?
yes.
Yeah, they just came.